guess what?
What, Jay?
What are you doing right now?
I'm driving.
In a carpool?
In a carpool.
All right, we're heading back to the Bridgetown area from Berwick area in our two-person carpool. Do we get to use that special lane? Have you ever seen those for buses?
we don't have those lanes.
Oh, yeah. We can
You
just
want
do
me
it.
to drive in the ditch?
We're lucky we're keeping it on the road at all. So, what's new?
It's a new month.
It is March.
It's March, and we have some new storytellers for our Book Club 150.
We do.
Notice I said storytellers. Mariko is an author,
Yes,
and Jillian is an illustrator, so...
she is.
Yeah.
And they're cousins, and they have combined forces to write, so far, two books, as far as I know.
Two graphic novels
graphic
that they've
novels.
done together.
They've won all kinds of awards for...
Oh, they have?
Yes. Can you think of any off the top of your head?
I can think of one for sure. The 2015 Caldecott Honor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You didn't have anything to do with that, did you?
Only just maybe a little.
Huh. You're not allowed to talk about it.
I'm not really allowed to talk about it, and that's a good thing that you brought that up, because as we're talking about the book today, I will be talking about what I think about the book, not what anybody on the committee ever said anything about the book. So it's just my own personal, like, anything I say about the book is just what I think.
Right.
My personal opinions.
You have to, if you're ever on the Caldecott Committee, afterwards, you pretty much, every conversation you say, you have to preface it with that.
Yeah.
You're like, now, if you ask me where the ketchup is, I'm just going to have to say, this is my personal view of where the ketchup is. It has nothing to do with... Isn't that true? 'Cause
Yes. I can talk about the snacks, though.
you can talk about
I
the
can talk about the snacks.
The ketchup thing was a bad example.
Yeah. We didn't have ketchup.
You didn't have... What, you had fancier sauces and condiments.
We had chocolate, and we had chips, and we had fruit, and we had cookies, and we had cheese, and champagne, and all kinds of stuff. Well, champagne was only after we were done.
Right. That's good. That's good. Did they actually tell you that? It was only after you're
No,
done?
they didn't tell us
Or is
that,
that
but-
because of past committees?
That was, yeah. No, that was our own thing. But it also won the 2014 Governor General Award for illustration.
That's right. So I grew up in Ontario, and the idea of going to cottage country, first of all, really rings true to me. They really nailed, and even off the top when they're driving, and it's just the gridlock to get to the cottages, all of that stuff, and the idea of being super excited about the summer vacation. It's like the kind of, the crown jewel of your whole summer, which seems to last forever when you're, a young teenager, or, and the book takes, place in cottage country, but it's also taking place in a girl's life when she's just starting to kind of get that crossover into adult.
One of the things I really love about the book is all the different perspectives. So there's that perspective that you just talked about. There's the parents who are having some issues, and the mother who's depressed, and there's this other whole set of teenagers who live in the cottage country area, and townies, yeah. And it's totally like all of the different groups of people that are represented in the book feel very real. And what is amazing to me, and the Caldecott is given for illustration, but what's amazing to me is the different tones of color that Jillian used to sort of give you that feel of those different people. Like, for instance, when there's one bookmark in there of Wendy dancing around, and it's like just such a big fluid movement and thick line, and just there's all that white space in the background, and it's very joyful. And then there's another bookmark where the mother, where it's really kind of muted. The mother is kind of, she's depressed. And so you get this real sort of muted colors with her. I love that page turn. The cup falls and then breaks. It's just something, like I can hear that. I can hear that happen. Like I can hear that cup fall and break. And then there's another one where she's swimming underwater and just, there's like one color in the book. It's just different shades of it.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's full color, which that's one of the things that just, really kind of blows me away about the art in this book. Is like you feel like you're reading something in full color.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And the best black and white movies are like that too.
Right. Yeah, your imagination sort of fills in the stuff that's missing, like the colors that are missing.
Yeah, and it also, I think it kind of gives it a timelessness because, like for me, I'm projecting like the 80s onto this story because that's when, I was a kid doing this stuff. And really, it doesn't take place in the 80s, but I read it a while ago and thinking about it, I had placed it in the 80s. If it was, colorful and the clothes were colored in, it would add more of a time to it.
It was published during the year I was on the Caldecott Committee, and so I read it, and I loved it. There's some graphic novels that I really love because I just get so immersed in the story.
Yeah.
Like the story and the art just grabbed me, and I couldn't put it down.
It just has so much kind of truth, and some of it is uncomfortable, just like real life.
Yeah. I think it's a book that a lot of people would like. I think adults would like it as well, but I think probably if I were recommending it to a young person that I didn't really know, I'd probably say maybe 11 or 12 and up.
Right. Which is
just because there are some mature themes.
I think this is a good book for anybody who is a young teenager or whoever has been a young teenager. And if you can't relate to it on some level, maybe you've just forgotten what it's like, because I think they nailed it. It's also Freedom to Read Week.
It is Freedom to Read Week, so you can read that book if you want to. Even though it might have a couple F-bombs in it.
Yeah, there's some swearing. There's some uncomfortable moments. I don't know if moments would be as uncomfortable for somebody of that age reading it as they are for
an
adults projecting their own.
I think it's more that,
right?
That it's more adults thinking that kids don't understand things or aren't capable of dealing with that, when I think kids who would be reading this book would be totally capable of dealing with that.
On Mariko's blog, she wrote an open letter to principals, I think it was called.
And that's a great letter.
And it fits in perfectly, of course, with Freedom to Read Week, but it was about schools that they're not officially removing books from their collection, but maybe they're keeping them behind the desk in the principal's office.
Or stuck in a box somewhere. We should post that for free. Can you post that tomorrow?
Yeah.
That'd be great. Just like put a link to it on Twitter or something.
We should, and we'll put a link down below too. We haven't really talked about the whole deal with Book Club 150. This is Canada's 150th birthday this year, and we're celebrating Canadian.
Happy birthday to Canada.
So once a month we are featuring one of these Canadian storytellers. Some of them are illustrators, some of them are authors, and some of them are author illustrators. And every month we're trying to, we have a prize.
We have a prize every month, contest.
Yep.
And, if people want to talk online about the books by the authors or storytellers, it'd be great. Get some online conversations going on.
If you want to post your own book club video,
you could do that. Tell us about it. We could put a link to it.
You should see some of the prizes we've got too.
We have some awesome prizes.
Some of the prizes are incredible when they first arrive, and now they're pretty good after we pillage the good stuff. I'm just kidding. No, they're all.
You don't even know where I have that signed John Clausen.
Yeah, that's just, I've never even seen it in real life. I just show it. Okay, so I really liked This One Summer.
Did you read their other book?
No, I just skimmed it.